Oh, okay. So yeah, earlier I was upset about something, and I had to go outside and I recorded it, and then I waited. Well, I have no contact with Wood County Human Services or Crisis Intervention. That was because my son, one day I thought something was wrong early in the morning, and I called Crisis Intervention. I said I think my son is overdosing. We were told by Katie Mylock, Chris, that, or Katie says, or whoever, that you're not supposed to call us anymore, so we're not going to take your call. So I called 911, and I was hung up on. Thought my son was overdosing, and explained that said he was going to go down the road and blah blah blah. And I told him I suspected a drug overdose, and that he was suicidal. Well, Chris, you need to stop calling. Well, I was working on the bike 6, 7 hours later, whatever it was, and all of a sudden I heard somebody was laying on the railroad tracks, or laying on a bicycle track by the railroad tracks, on the bicycle trail by the railroad tracks. All of a sudden I started dawning on me, that's what my son does, is ride his bike. So boom, I thought I'm going to call the hospital about a half hour or so later, and sure enough, my son was there, and I got there, and he was hooked to a breathing machine, and it was breathing for him. Cops were more worried about getting him out of there and putting him in jail. Wisconsin Rapids cops. At that time, they never told me until I found out, just in the last 6 months, that 2 people were arrested that day. Yeah, in the chain of events that led to the overdose of my son, who's still alive. But it wasn't an overdose, it was a polysubstance drug overdose. So, and they wanted to shut me up. Well, the one dispatcher, I'm pretty sure, I'm not afraid to say this, I'm afraid to say anything, I'll be honest, I'm terrified, but I have to. Pretty sure Jack, I think his name was Jack or Joe, I can't remember, he was fired. Now, Lori Heidemann sent me the one tape, but somehow they lost the 911 call where they hung up on me, but I have that recorded. So she sent me, which I have a copy of, and also somebody else is holding on to all my paperwork, all my tapes. He knows who he is. He can hear this under lock and key, of them calling and apologizing for hanging up on me when my son was almost dead. They didn't tell me that a guy from the other side of town found my son and performed CPR. He said all the cops were worried about is, did you do this to my son? Or no, did you do this to him? Are you the one that killed him? Because my son wasn't responsive when they arrived. After 7 hours of ignoring me, Wood County, Wisconsin Rapids, all of you. Now, Lance Plimmel, he's the one you guys all remember, he used to sell alcohol after closing time at Lance's Bar. He's the head of Wood County. And then there's so many goofy stuff. But I'm trying to do this before it runs out. But the thing is, so I ran for mayor against Verwink. Well, then my son, they say he needs counseling through a court order, but Wood County says we're not going to handle it. Verwink, oh yeah, we got Verwink as the mayor. Verwink is the head of Wood County Human Services. Verwink is the head of Wood County Child Support. 3 different agencies. Now, my granddaughter, who's a little over a year old, is living in a house of a man that he was found guilty. I can't see if you can see it. But right here, Francis Morgan. That's what it started off, all them first degrees. And then he was found guilty of 3. Bound over. I'm going in reverse. But here it says no contact with initial or any female. So that was part of a bond. Well, he was found guilty of 3 of them. They put him down to 4th degree. But that's where my granddaughter lives now, and I hate it. And I've called child support, even though they don't have nothing to do with it. But who's run by Verwink, one of the Verwinks. Nope, we can't do nothing about it. I called the sheriff's department, talked to an investigator. Yeah, well, I'm sure whatever. Bullshit. I call Human Services, who also is run by Verwink, you can't call us. You can't have contact. I can't, so don't do suicide at my house because I can't do shit about it. It's called due process of civil rights. They've tried to take them away from me. It's bullshit. So anybody out there, the guy's name is Francis Morgan. My granddaughter, she lives there. And turn around, I don't even know why they got a police scanner. They don't do shit. But my granddaughter lives there. And they know it. I've told them. They don't care. They don't give a shit. I mean, Katie Milak is, I got a no contact. I'll probably end up in jail over this. It's public record. She goes around and she does these speeches or whatever they do. How to think reasonable. How about when she got pulled over 65 miles an hour in a 30 or 64 and a 35 drunk? Is that reasonable? So, I don't know. But let's worry about my granddaughter. I think it's wrong. I can name, Katie Sis, Katie Milak, this other gal, all of them. No, and they're ignoring me. Oh, Chris, he's not on the sexual offender registry. Oh, Chris, we can't talk to you. Well, who's going to talk for my little 1-year-old granddaughter? She's over 1. I've got every video when I walk in that house to visit. It's hard to walk in that house because the dishes are 3 fucking feet high. Wood County don't give a fuck. So share the fuck out of this video. There. And Chris ain't drinking today. I'm sober. I'm fucking pissed. And watch, I'll probably, for who knows what. Why would I go to jail? I don't know. This county sucks. The guy's name is Francis Morgan. That's where my granddaughter lives. It's not a perfect world, but someone's got to speak for her because I can't. I'm sick of it.